Nastia is so good. She is coming back to Watcher Realms tomorrow, but should you summon for her? We have crazy ancient things coming to this game after this weekend, so there's a lot of stuff to weigh out. Do you go for her right now, or do you skip this and then go for Sargak, or maybe the crazy new Assassin's Creed heroes? I'm gonna break all that down in this video. Let's go.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. This is a big one. This is one of the hardest should you summon videos I've had to make in a long time. The question this evening is, should you pull on the Nastia banner that is kicking off tomorrow? This is a special ancient summoning banner running from tomorrow, Saturday, March the 7th, through Monday, March 9th. It is featuring Nastia and the newly buffed Sargak. Also, guys, we are doing a pulls party tomorrow morning, or if you're watching this in a few hours, today. You can find all the details in the description and the top pin comment or on my Discord. If you want to sign up, it is free for anyone to join. You just have to fill out the form below. It will be happening at about noon Eastern time. That's 6 p.m. Central European time, Saturday, March 7th. I hope to see you there. Link to the form is in the description and the top pin comment. Thanks. Let's start with Sargak. The buff looks good. The buff is not crazy. I'm gonna have to test him out in a couple places. The best part of the buff, though he is stronger, is just the fact that he's a lot more usable. Now, what do I mean? Not more usable because he's better in terms of DPS quality or something, though it should be a bit better. More usable in the sense that he will no longer kill himself. Now, when he is ulting, he will be draining his HP until he's under 25% health. Previously, he would do it the whole way. He just wouldn't be able to kill himself, but he could go down to like 1 tick of HP. You kind of wanted that in the past because to get the max benefit of his kit, you wanted his HP as low as possible. Now they have adjusted his kit so he gets the max benefit once he's under 25% health. And the difference between having 25% of his max HP remaining and having 1 tick of HP is enormous, right? Let's check his base HP right now. It comes in at 11,164. So typically you're gonna build him with 20,000 to 30,000 HP. Previously, he would literally bring himself down to 1 hit point. Now he's gonna bring himself down to 5,000 hit points, 7,000 hit points, maybe 8,000 hit points if you've got a tankier build. That is night and day. I do think I'll probably be able to find a special use for him in some place that he's going to excel. I'm definitely going to test him out a little bit. I need to build my Sargak up, actually. I've only pulled him once ever, and that was just like 2 months ago on my account, so I'm going to have to get on that. But I don't think this buff is so good that he's going to like be replacing Silas in every piece of content, or he's going to be a substitute for Lady Alex in certain content. I don't think that's the case. He is going to be better, though, so that's something to keep in mind. The consolation prize on this banner, who is Sargak, is stronger now and is more desirable as a consolation prize. However, undeniably, Sargak is the consolation prize because Nastia is one of the couple queens of the game. She is absolutely phenomenal. She is a triple S legendary lord, and I'm gonna give you guys a little peek behind the curtain. You know, if you're one of the people that made it 3 minutes into this video, well, first off, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And then as a thank you, let me give you some behind the scenes stuff or what I have in the works kind of stuff. What am I talking about? Well, I do have a big video coming out next week in conjunction with the rollout of the new tier grades on my website. I'm sorry, guys, those are taking a while, but they're gonna take a while. I'm gonna roll that out over a couple weeks, but already starting next week, I'm going to unveil my official rankings of the Legendary Lords, and I will redo all the ratings starting with those Legendary Lords, and I actually already put them in order. So I'm not going to tell you everything right now, but I am going to share right now, and I think this is pretty spicy, who my top 5 Legendary Lords are. Actually, I'm going to tell you my top 6 because my 5-6 placement is extra spicy, I do believe. However, I'm bringing this up because Nastia is one of my top 5 ranked Legendary Lords in this game. I actually have her ranked number 4. Who is number 1? Surprise, surprise. That is going to be Ingrid. Number 2, honestly, I think it's pretty clear-cut nowadays. I think it is Ezerith. He brings so much to the table, it's crazy. Number 3 might surprise some of you, either because you think he should be lower or you're not at the end game yet and you think he should be number 1 or number 2. At number 3, I have Praetus. At the end of the day, he is by a mile the best lord of the Supreme Arbiters, and even if his actual kit falls off a little bit in the endgame, he's just so dominant as a lord of such an important faction, especially for endgame content, especially for PvP content. Praetus, of course, still had to make my top 3. I will say, he's on notice. The second the new Arbiter Legendary Lord debuts, almost certainly, if they design it right, that lord will be kicking Praetus out, and he's going to drop out of the top 5. Because right now, so much of his value is that he is one of one. He's the only legendary lord in this faction. But he's going to be number 3. Number 4 is our girl, the lady of the hour, the lady of the weekend, Nastia, and we're going to talk a lot more about her in a second. And then number 5, this is kind of spicy, is going to be Yovar. Now, I'm going to tell you number 6 because I want to explain myself really quickly, and then we're going to spend the last several minutes of this video just talking about Nastia. But at number 6, I've got Valderon. This is the only placement I really agonized over. I thought the top 4 was really easy to throw together. I thought it was pretty definitive, at least in my opinion. But Yovar versus Valderon is really tough. At the end of the day, I do think having the top Piercer Lord is stronger than having the top Chaotic Lord. When it comes to just being a Lord, Gon is very close to Valderon, and in certain content better. Obviously, as a hero, Valderon's a lot more valuable. However, Valderon hasn't been power crept, but it's just, he's not the most versatile usable unit for a lot of things. Whereas Yovar really is. If you ever want to run Piercers, which is all the time you're gonna plug in Yovar, he's also significantly stronger since his recent buff, and he is the best BP champion in the game. So actually, that was the tiebreaker for me. I do love both of them, though. I had to take my boy Valderon out of the top 5, but that could obviously change, right? So let's go to Nastia and let's actually talk about it. Why did I say this was going to be one of my hardest should you summon videos in a long time? Well, it comes down to this. Nastia is so worth summoning for if you don't have her. It's crazy. However, big things are coming, and we don't really know what they are. And that's really difficult. So there's this opportunity cost that you're gonna have to pay if you go for Nastia, and then you overextend yourself, use too many of your ancient summons, and then you can't go for the things we don't really know about, but we do know are coming. So what am I talking about? There is one thing we know for sure is coming, and that is going to be Sargak. Sargak is supremely strong. I still need to do my video on him in Single Target Arena where he is phenomenal. But this video, I go deep testing Sargak in Abyss, both at A5 and A0. I do full showcases of that in the video. On top of it, I separately off camera tested him again at A0, A1, A3, and A5. So I have all the numbers for you. And let me tell you, the second he gets A1, he can already compete with A5 Sun Wukong. When he's at A0, he beats A0 Sun Wukong. And then when he's at A5, he's better than A5 Sun Wukong. Not just competing, he's definitively better. He is a level up. He is pretty freaking crazy. That being said, if you have an A5 Kagiri and an A5 Sun Wukong, I know not everyone does, obviously, but if you have that, Sargak is kind of a luxury item. He's an ancient exclusive unit. Pulling 6 copies of him is going to be very difficult, though to be frank, he's already great at A0, and then starting at A1, just the first awakening, he becomes phenomenal. So you could get the A0 and use an unpolished soulstone if you wanted, but he's tempting. I don't know if he's so tempting that you should skip Nastia if you don't have. So actually, let's begin there. Sargak must be coming, I would think, next weekend, the weekend after, or the weekend after that. I know those are a lot of options, but if we look at the calendar, we know he will be a special Ancient Summoning banner because he's Ancient exclusive. Nastia is this weekend on the 7th, so that means Sargak is gonna come this month. That is 99% confirmed, which means he's the 14th, the 21st, or the 28th. Lately, they've been giving it 2 or 3 weeks after giving us permission to post the test server video on a new character. They've been giving it 2 or 3 weeks before that character actually comes out. This is a much better system than how they used to do it, which is pretty cool. So for that reason, because this week was the week we were allowed to release our Sargak content, I believe he will not come out next weekend. So he's probably going to come the 21st or the 28th. I actually don't even know the rumors on this one. For example, Guan Yu is heavily rumored to debut on the 27th. I don't know what people are saying about Sargak, but I would guess it has to be the 21st or the 28th, maybe the 14th, but you can kind of count on that. So why am I getting so obsessed with all these specific dates? That's because it can really inform how you want to plan your current summoning and your future saving. So maybe you do want to go for Nastia a little bit because I actually think she's going to be more valuable to the average account than Sargak. That's not to say one is better than the other. But at the end of the day, she's a top 5 legendary lord, especially if you're missing Cyrus. She's gonna level your account up in a crazy way. If you really just need crazy burst physical damage, Sargak is gonna bring it better than basically any hero in the game. So it's really up to you, but that's something you have to weigh out. You will have a couple weeks, very likely, to recover, but not that long. You know, if you use all your summons right now on Nastia, even if you're super like late game, end game, if you're not spending money, you're not gonna be able to save more than like another 40, maybe 50 by his banner. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe you could get to 55 if his banner's at the end of the month. So I think he is a unit a lot of people should target, but it's pretty tough for people that are missing Nastia. Let me actually take one quick moment. We're already getting to the end of the video, don't worry. But let me take one quick moment to answer the question, should you summon for Nastia if you already have her? No, her awakenings are not worth dumping your summons and missing out on Sargak, and nice transition, missing out on the other thing we really need to talk about. What is that other thing? Well, it's the Assassin's Creed collab event. We know it's coming. We basically know at this point it is not this month. That makes me pretty confident it's going to be in April. It will be in April or May. I think it is going to be in April. I think it will come after the next update, which likely will come, I would guess, around here. So like the very end of March, like Monday the 30th, Tuesday the 31st, or maybe Wednesday the 1st. I think it's going to be one of these 2 days whenever these banners end. So maybe it'll be Tuesday the 31st in the evening or the wee hours of the morning, Wednesday the 1st. I totally could be wrong. This one I'm not saying is like 100%. It could be the week after. It could be the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th, but it's going to be around then. And I do think that will bring in the Assassin's Creed collab. Doesn't mean that that collab is going to start that exact day after the update happens, but it should be within a short time period. I am just speculating at this point. These are just like my informed guesses, but if I'm correct, that Assassin's Creed event will come and it will have at least one unit, likely just one unit, that is Ancient exclusive, and I would definitely think that unit will be completely busted. If we go back to the Dracula event, there were 4 event exclusive collab heroes in the Dracula event. We had the free-to-play one, who was Vlad Dracula. We had the 200 limited one, which was Lady Mina. We had the one with the special banner and the choose your own extra hero, which was Van Helsing. And then the only one that was Ancient exclusive was Count Dracula. And wouldn't you know it, they're all good, but he is the most busted. He's aged like the craziest fine wine for PvP. This guy is broken, he is nuts, and anyone who missed out on him is in a tough spot because he is an event exclusive limited, meaning unless they ever run the Dracula's event again, maybe they'll do it next Halloween, maybe they'll never do it again, we don't know. Unless they do that again, you're not gonna get Dracula. Or maybe they'll change all the systems in the game. But as it stands right now, he is impossible to get if they don't rerun his event, and there's no real reason to think they will. They totally could, but we definitely can't count on that. So, if they're gonna run a new event, the Assassin's Creed event, which I think they are valuing as a bigger event, because the Dracula collab event was using a public IP, right? It was kind of like in the public open domain since the Dracula stories have been around forever. Like Bram Stoker's book is from like 1860 or 1870. I might be slightly off, but it's a 19th century story, right? That like famous version of Dracula that Bram Stoker wrote. So they kind of used it as they're putting a toe in the water, testing the idea of a collab event. I think it was a big success, but now they're doing their first like official IP crossover where they are collaborating with a modern game, and that's going to be Assassin's Creed, a modern property, and I think they really want it to shine, right? Also, Raid just did a collab with Assassin's Creed. I explicitly know Watcher of Realms, it's really important to them that they do better than Raid did. Will they be better? I don't know. I think we should hope, so it's even more fun. We'll see. But because they have all these pressures, it's their first like private IP collab. They're trying to like one-up Raid, and it's their like first like real, oh my God, like we're working with another game, we're working with another property, we're working with another developer. I think they're gonna follow a similar pattern. There's gonna be an Ancient exclusive unit. Again, I'm speculating, but I think it's gonna be super strong, like Dracula level strong. So you're gonna want at least 90 Ancients in your pocket. You might want extra to get dupes, but Dracula was 90 Ancients for the guarantee. This one might be 90. Maybe it'll be more, maybe it'll be less. I would think the same. So to bring it home, should you go for Nastia if you don't have her? Yes, with the big caveat that I do not think going for her now is worth missing out on next month's entirely exclusive Ancient Assassin's Creed collab unit, if I'm right. So if you want to think that I'm right, or you think there's a chance I might be right, you can summon on this banner, but you want to be sure not to completely exhaust all your summons so that you can't get to 90 by the end of the Assassin's Creed collab. Now, the Assassin's Creed collab is likely to be 2.5 to 3 weeks long, like the Dracula collab. So if that's the case, you'll have towards the end of April to get that many Ancients. So just start doing the math for yourself now. But if you want to go for Nastia, and you don't want to miss out on the exclusive Assassin's Creed Ancient Hero if and when it comes, and you might be interested in Sargak, you need to start doing some math and doing some counting and kind of forecast how many Ancients you can earn. You know, how many Malrix runes are you sitting on? Are you clearing endgame bosses for everything so you're getting the max amount of Ancients? If you are, you should be getting about 100 Ancients a month. So you can do the math that way. If you're not, you got to figure it out for yourself. But if you want to take shots on all these different things, you're going to have to be thoughtful. I'll tell you, in my case, I might summon a little bit for Sargak. We'll see when his banner actually is and what it's looking like time-wise. But currently, I'm already considering skipping him just because, you know, I've got a decent amount of Ancients, but it's not crazy, 112. And if the unit is the next Dracula, I want to be completely ready. So I hope that gives you guys a lot of information. Nastia is definitely worth going for. She's definitely not to the level of Ezerith and Ingrid. I'd say she's just one tier below, but that's one tier below the absolute goddess of god tiers. So yeah, if you have any follow-up questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to summon for Nastia, I'm doing a polls party tomorrow. You'll find the sign-up sheet in the description in the top pinned comment. Share with your mother, guys. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.